Hey guys, today we have the executive publisher from SRQ Magazine, my buddy Wes. How you doing, Wes?
I'm doing good, Felipe. How are you doing?
No, I'm Brad. I'm Brad.
Brad. They told me Felipe would be here. Where is he?
Felipe is actually taking his dog out real quick. So.
Okay, so how does that make me feel?
Well, we want to talk a little bit about SRQ Magazine and some of the types of stories you like to focus on. This is just a pre-show tailored by Tweeds, so we like to kind of preview what the show is going to be about.
Well, you know, I think there would be something that that probably is very kismet with the way that you approach your process here. SRQ is a locally owned media company. Myself and my business partner, who's my wife, own it. We started the company, and the whole reason has been to tell local stories and positive stories. We describe ourselves as the good news magazine, the good news media.
Love it.
There's plenty of places where you can read bad news and about terrible things happening in the world. There needs to be a place where when you're done reading and spending time with the images, you walk away with a positive, hopeful feeling for the future.
I love that. I love that. And we'll definitely get more into that during the podcast, as well as this topic that I'm going to bring
less,
up.
You're saying.
But no, you're fine. But
he said told me to talk less.
You guys are running one of the big things you're known for, and that is the SRQ Best Of. So talk to us about that real quick. How'd that come about?
Yeah, real quick. I heard it. The SRQ Best Of competition is our reader-driven competition. It's local companies, so we're not going to see a bunch of national chains being recognized in it. And what we do is we allow our readers and the community at large to place votes for who should be considered as the best of in whatever category. It could be fitness, it could be automotive, it could be insurance, whatever it might be. And
could be roofing.
Not roofing.
Yeah, not roofing. No roofers.
No roofers. And no, whatever category. And I mean, you're taking me off on a different tangent, but the categories are based on what people tell us they want to assess.
Like the best local podcast.
Best local podcast. You know, I have heard that there are ways to try and matriculate up in your votes, which is a joke because that's really what makes it vital.
Yeah.
We are an ethically run process. It's very hard for me to stay short.
That's fine.
When we started, it was sort of a given that competitions like this were pay to play. And with SRQ Magazine, we do everything in our power to guard against ballot stuffing or any sort of manipulation. Our role is to give a voice to our readers, to the community at large, and then celebrate the businesses that they love. And we don't have a vested interest in which they choose. We just want to help them celebrate.
Love it. I love it. And you mentioned, you kind of alluded to it earlier with media, the bad news and things. Media in general has changed a ton over the years. Reading your news is not always, the way that most people consume news anymore. How has SRQ Magazine adapted to that and stayed relevant amongst the change?
I think the thing that's most important is that we've stuck to a set of principles. And those principles are, we as a media company are not here to tell you our opinion. We're not here to tell you our editor's opinion. Our job is to provide a voice and a venue for the people in our community, and ideally the people in our community that have passion and excitement and want to make our community grow and evolve. Whether the ideas of a given inspired person are exactly the ideas that I agree with is immaterial. It's that inspiration and energy that we want to celebrate. And sticking to that has apparently handed us a lot of success over 2 decades.
Very cool. Well, that's going to do it for the pre-show tailored by Tweeds. If you stay tuned, we're going to learn a lot more about SRQ Magazine and the Best Of contest. We'll see you at the podcast.
You did okay, Brad. I know you were worried. You did okay.
So, the timeliness of this episode is especially important because you're running the Best Of. I think, from an outside kind of looking in, right, we're just getting involved with some of SRQ Magazine and what you guys are doing. I'll be fully honest, I've never picked up the magazine and read through the whole thing, but the Best Of has always been something that has been, like when SRQ Best Of comes around, you hear it, right? Businesses are screaming it, people are screaming it, mostly because they probably want votes. But, that's what you guys are absolutely known for. So talk to us about the contest, when that started, and, kind of how that's helped evolve SRQ Magazine.
The Best of SRQ local competition is one of the innovations or creations that we brought to the local area.
In that year of entrepreneurship?
It probably was a year. I mean, I think we started it when every year was a year of entrepreneurship, and it was, the pedal was to the metal every day. So there was a long window of time. I guess since you bring it up, when we started, both my wife and I were very young, much too young to do something so impossible, and we didn't know any better. It's the only reason we were able to succeed is because we were naive and didn't know it was impossible. And every idea we had, we just ran with back then. That meant no sleep, no time to eat, no time for anything else. But that period of time was pretty exciting, and this grew out of that. A lot of innovations appear when you see a hole in the market, or you maybe see how things are done that you wish were done differently. When we started Best of SRQ, it was completely expected and standard that competitions of all sorts were pay to play. Our competitors consistently were pay to play. It was in your contract.
Gotta love pay to play.
It was in your contract. It was, I'm buying this number of full page ads and I get to be number one.
Full discretion. We tried to pay as much as we could pay to play.
I know. I saw that Robinson over there.
He limited how much we could pay.
Why is he driving that new car then?
Yeah, exactly.
That was very suspicious.
I have no shame in pay to play, right? That's why you build up these, fun coupons in the first place, right? Is to pay to play.
And that's not what our method was.
Right. I understand that.
We created a system completely different from that. And it took time for people to accept it and believe it. By doing that with our Best of SRQ, also our Home of the Year competition, which was a tremendous shift from what that industry was used to, our readers learned to trust us and to respect us.
Everybody trying to be somebody. I just wanna be like me. Be like me.